All right, so I finally broke down all the math on this property. It's quite a bit taking me to get to this level. So this property is located at 11308 South Figueroa in Los Angeles. MLS ID is right here. So let's get into it. This property is currently listed at $2,895,000. It consists a total of 9 units on the property. 6 of the units are 3-bedroom, 2 baths. It has a gross monthly rent on those units totaling $15,282 a month. It has another 3 units on the property that are 2-bedroom, 1 bath each, totaling $6,949 a month. It has an 18-car, essentially garage underneath the property that you can park for tenants. It also has bonus billboard income. It did not disclose that on the MLS, what the amount is, but that could be anywhere from a few $100s to maybe $1,000. It's a small billboard on the property, so we'll have to see. Total rents on it, as is coming in at $22,231. So let's get into it. I got 4 different scenarios on this property that we're going to break down, and you let me know. Is this going to be a good property for you to add to your portfolio? Okay, so I got it all written down. This is sales scenario number 1. So this is assuming we're buying the property at list price, which is $2,895,000. It would require a down payment of 30% roughly. That's coming in at $868,500. Your principal and interest, let's say you were an established investor working with the bank already, and you could swing a 6.5% interest rate. Your principal and interest payment would be $12,808 a month. And these are some of the basic costs that I put together for this scenario. So cost number 1, taxes, coming in at $36,118 per year. Your insurance, I'm estimating, is about $8,568 per year. Your water bill is coming in at about $7,020 a month. And basic electricity on the property to keep it lit is about $800 a year, totaling $52,576 a year, or $4,381 monthly. Your carrying cost, which would be, I'm looking at your principal and interest along with these basic expenses, is about $17,189 a month. And your total rent is coming in at $22,231 a month. So you got a positive cash flow after your principal and interest payment plus these expenses of $5,041 a month, which translates into a 7.3% cap rate. Please keep in mind that's not including any property management, vacancy factor, repairs, or any other miscellaneous expenses. So not bad off the bat, but I think we can do better. So there's future rental income that we can increase on. Some of it is a little bit low on this property, so let's get into that. Okay, so what about if we increase the rents on this property? We still buy it at the $2.895 million sales price, but we can get these rents up to where they should be. They're a little low compared to market standards right now. So pro forma, what I'm estimating, which would be every single one of these 3 bedrooms renting out, 3-bedroom, 2-bath renting out for $3,600 a month, and all the 2-bedroom, 1 baths renting out for $2,700 a month. That would bring us up from the $22,231 that we're collecting to $29,700. All the costs are going to stay the same, principal, interest, taxes, all that. Our carrying costs is over here, $17,189 still, but our rent has gone up to $29,700. So that changes our positive cash flow from that $5,000 to $12,511 a month, and that transforms our 7.3% cap rate to now almost a 10.5% cap rate. So now we're doing really well. Again, we're still not calculating any property management, vacancy factor, repairs, or miscellaneous expenses. So this is like if you're managing it yourself scenario. And here is some appreciation schedules that you can kind of look at. Just keep in mind, California usually experiences about a 5% annualized appreciation return. So in year 3, if you bought it at $2,895, your property would appreciate to approximately $3,217,950. At year 5, you're looking at $3,566,416. And at year 10, we're looking at $4,677,098. So really good appreciation model going years down the road, which is what you kind of need to keep in mind as well when you're buying bigger properties like this. So let's get into some of the strategic part, negotiating this property, getting a better sales price, getting some of our costs down as well at the same time by doing that. Let's see what those numbers look like so we can maybe make this a better deal up front. Okay, so now let's say we negotiate a better sales price on the property so we can get some better returns up front and save on some of those costs. So let's just say we can get an 8% discount on the purchase price of the property. So now our sales price goes from 2.895 to 2.663400 or $2,663,400. Our down payment drops to $799,020. Our principal and interest payment, let's assume we could still get at 6.5%, drops to $11,784 a month. Our costs, the water and electric, are going to stay the same, but because these two are based on the sales price typically of the property, our taxes are going to go to $33,293 annually, and our insurance is going to drop to $7,882 annually. So this brings our total cost on expenses to $48,995 per year, or $4,082 annually. So this is a decrease. Our carrying cost with our principal and interest payment with these expenses runs us $15,866 a month. Our rent is still the actual rent on the property, not the pro forma. So we're looking at $22,231 a month. And that gives us a positive cash flow after expenses and the payment of $6,364 a month, which translate into a 8.1% cap rate on the property. So we're looking a little bit better. This is something I would be much more interested in. Just that small change really helps you out up front. So now let's get into the pro forma. If you were to buy this with the discount at 8%, plus years down the road, you're able to get the rent increases on the property. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's break this down with the pro forma rent coming in at $29,700. Exactly the same thing as the previous model. 3 bedrooms are a little low, 2 bedrooms are a little low. So there is room to increase those rents up. Our costs are still going to stay the same. So our carrying costs at $15,866 a month, plus the rent coming in at $29,700 gives us a monthly positive cash flow on the property at $13,834 per month, which gives us an 11.5% cap rate on the property. Again, this is still with no property management, vacancy factor, repairs, or miscellaneous expenses included in this. And if we get down to our appreciation at year 3 with a 5% annualized appreciation rate, we're looking at $2,957,721. Year 5 is coming in at $3,273,266. And at year 10, we're coming in at a whopping $4,335,616. All right, so what does all this math mean? It means that if I were your agent, I'd be shooting for at least an 8% discount on the property. It makes pretty decent sense coming in at year 1 with an 8% cap rate with all the numbers I just explained and with the future rental upside on the property. Going from just over $6,000 a month to over $13,000 a month in positive cash flow. It's going to take a few years to get there, but it has real potential to get there to that point. Those rents are not overestimated, fairly conservative to get up to that level. If you don't already own multifamily property, this is something that's going to be a little out of your reach, but don't worry, we can get you in the door with a duplex, triplex, or a fourplex so you can start building experience and you can get to buy something like this and really grow your real estate portfolio. So let me know down below. Would you like to own something this big, this large, creating this much potential cash flow years down the road? Drop it in the comments.